there have been a few times in my life where I have completely changed in an instant and completely become a new person. Not even within one day, but literally within one instant, within one single choice. And it's not something that I ever really dreamed was even possible or practically achievable, because we tend to feel so stuck in our ways. But I can think of a few examples where I was in a certain pattern, like for example, like the way that I drove a car, or the way that I spoke to people, or my reactions to other situations where they were so chronically unconfident, and I was so unsure of myself. But there was just a moment of inspiration where I just chose to be confident, and I just chose to make the decision to be someone new. And I don't even like saying it that way because it sounds harder than it really is. It's just a choice to think a new set of thoughts, just even for one instant, even just for one session of whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like sometimes that might feel like a grind, but honestly, I can tell you that there have been times where I've literally changed. I've just decided to think differently just for the sake of it, and after that point I never went back. I didn't even have to try to keep affirming it. I was just never the same person again after that moment, for the better. And it was like it just woke me up, and I just realized, oh, this doesn't actually have to be difficult. I don't actually have to be unconfident in this situation. I can just choose to be someone who's confident in this situation. And I'm not even faking it till I make it. I just chose it just to entertain it. And it just felt so good that I just never went back. It was just so much easier to be this new person. And I've never been the same since. And sometimes you can make a lot of choices like that. But you have to be able to catch yourself out and realize that you have a choice. And realize that everyone in your life, whether you know them or you don't know them, is just going to respond to that choice that you've made, and they're going to treat you as such. And it's not some kind of delusion, it's a choice. You can be who you want to be, and they will treat you like that, because that's what we all do. You know, we respond to who these people are presenting themselves to be. And you can change so much in one day just from doing this, and you will completely forget who you even were before. Like, there are so many situations where I can't believe that I ever even cared about that. Like, I can't believe that I ever was so anxious about doing something, when all it took was a decision for me to say, no, I really don't care, there's nothing to be worried about here. And I was never the same again. It was just so easy. I can't emphasize how easy it is, and that there's nothing to be afraid of. You can just be someone who's confident. And I feel like I said that in the last two videos as well, quite a lot. I talk about confidence a lot, but it's because it was just such a big thing for me. Like, I just felt like that was so off limits for me, and I felt like I just wasn't allowed to be that because I never had been. But every time that I wasn't, it was a choice. And just because I've made that choice every day for the last 20 years doesn't mean that I have to make it again today. I was just making the same choice. I was just falling into the same groove. But despite that groove, all it took was one time for me to entertain the opposite, for me to realize how good it feels, how much better it is to be this new person. And I didn't even have to try beyond that point. I just became them. And I just acted in a way that I felt like was totally impossible for me before. You know, I felt like at some point that, you know, making a video like this was totally off limits for me. Like, oh, I wish I could, but this and but that, and, you know, that's not really for me. It's for all these other people. And now, like, I just can't imagine being nervous to, like, pick up a mic. Like, why does that even matter? Like, if I feel anxious about it, then I'm telling myself that I feel anxious about it, and I just don't need to do that. But I don't think you'll ever be able to prove that to yourself unless you make a choice to think something new, and then you will see the proof right there that you will actually feel different, and you'll forget who you were before. And then you'll see how easily you can do it, and that you don't have to be the same person, and you feel depressed because you're trying to be the same person again and again. So of course everything's stale, of course it's all shit, because you don't really like this person, you don't really want to be this person. I promise you that I don't even want to say getting out of your comfort zone, because it's actually more comfortable out here, but entertaining something new, even just briefly, can just work wonders, because you just put yourself in the mind of this new person for a little while, and once you see yourself feeling that new way briefly, then it really implants itself in you that it's actually possible to feel that way. And then you might have to persist at it for a little while, but in my case, a few times, like, I didn't even have to persist at all. It was like I just became them, and I've never gone back, and I can't even recognize that old person, and that's a good thing. You can change so much in one day, and you'll feel like you've died, and you'll feel like you've been reborn in the best way possible, and it's a great thing.